All right, let's do this. The trade block. We want it set up the pretty much the exact same way. I am willing to say all draft picks are on the table if it helps make deals happen. Clearly, none of these guys are viewed as like major league players. But yeah, if we can trade Fleischman, now's the time to do it. We're not trading Kulikov. Kuba's at an 82. Campbell was at an 83. So is Chris Versteeg, Steven Weiss. Let's go with Fleischman, Versteeg, and Weiss. Heiskanen D-man, that was forwards. I don't even care. Put Heiskanen on there as a fucking forward because he's so damn good. That's right. Respect. Okay. Well, Boston reacquired Hal Gill for a second. Dude, if Hal Gill's going for a second, we should be cleaning up at this deadline. Absolutely cleaning up. And hopefully we can tank our way out of the playoffs. Please, God. How many phones do we start off with? 2? I hope. Please let it be 2. It is 2. The Anaheim Ducks are calling. Steven Weiss for a second and a third on a trade that is apparently not league approved. I feel like we could do better for them, but he is on an expiring deal, so we don't really have time to fuck around. We will trade Steven Weiss to the Ducks if it lets me for a second and a third, and it does not let me. Son of a bitch. I will try to get that deal to go through. I don't know if we'll do a second next year, a third this year. I don't know why they're sending me a deal where it doesn't matter. Can I also get Jordan Hendry in the deal? Also not league approved, and I don't know why. Why wouldn't that be approved? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Why wouldn't that be approved? I added in the contract. It should be fine. What am I missing? I didn't read the previous error message either as to why it didn't go through. You'd have 2 little... I'd be under the floor. Gotcha. See, I should have used my eyes. Give me Jason Blake back? Peter Holland? Peter Holland doesn't... Oh, my God. No wonder why trade offers weren't coming through then. Shit. Yeah, they didn't want to take... Okay, we're in trouble. No wonder why offers weren't coming through. Marek Zidlichki and Eric Bolton for a first. Okay. LA and Montreal are both calling. Weiss for a first and Dwight King. Son of a bitch. All right, instead of Dwight King... Hold on. Value, Dwight King. Can we find somebody who's not worth much making a lot of money? Yaroslav Spacek. I feel like I'm going to have to add to let this go through, but even if the Kings first is a late first, I still want it. Honestly. Hold on. With the Kings... Spacek. I don't know if they'd give up Thomas Hickey. I don't even know if they'll give up Spacek. What's the best thing I can do here to get this deal to go through? What is the best thing I can do here? If I give up a fourth. Fuck. Okay. Oh, now it's inactive. Shit. Because I sent through a deal. Yeah, this won't go through either. Oh, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. Lane Berger and Darren Dietz. Okay. What we have to do is say no to this trade for the moment. And I have to find a deal for someone who's making a shitload of money, who's not that expensive to get, so that we can get these other deals to go through. Brian Ralston from the Bruins wouldn't be that bad, but I don't have anybody else I can add to it. I need cap whales is what I need. And again, I didn't have the roster space to sign anybody. We might have to rely on someone like Jason Blake. Not really finding too many people. Playing these games helping remember dudes for Pucktoku. Fair. I still go to Pucktoku every once in a while. It's not an everyday thing for me anymore. Right here's our best bet. These old fucking men of Ray Whitney, Brendan Morrow might be a bit much. But Ray Whitney, Brendan Morrow, and Michael Ryder. That is a whole lot of cap. A whole lot of cap. But is there a deal for me that makes sense right now to get that to go through? Jonas Donskoy is a 65 overall at 20 years old. I feel like we could give up Donskoy. That's pretty much the Morrow value right there. Eero Pakarainen is a 58 at 21 years old. So we can definitely use Donskoy and Pakarainen. That's pretty much the top two right there. Is there one other dude? Is this Anthony Luciani? It is, and he's terrible. What if we also add Luciani? Why would that not be approved? What? Why? Dude, I don't get it. Why wouldn't that be approved? Well, now am I taking on too much salary? I might actually be taking on too much salary now. Fuck me. What if we get Brendan Morrow out of there? Take out Luciani. Son of a bitch! Why is this trade gonna be such a pain in the ass to complete? Okay, well I can do Donskoy for Whitney. I don't even have to use Donskoy at this point. Son of a bitch, Dallas. Let's at least help put some trades together. Let's give him Marco Sturm. Then again, I can't afford to lose Marco Sturm's cap hit. Oh my god. I did not expect to have this much trouble blowing up this team. I'll give you Michael Repik. Michael Repik and a 6th. And they want me to sweeten it just a touch. This trade deadline is turning into an absolute disaster. I'm going to have to hang up on somebody if I get 2 calls. We'll hang up on the Kings for the moment. This has been an outright disaster. We've missed out on some great opportunities to actually pull off a trade or two here. Repik, and we'll go 2 6ths to get Whitney's cap hit. Are you fucking kidding me? How is that not a... You fucking suck. Oh, you suck. Oh, just raise it a bit. I give him another 6th. Oh, keep going. You fucking toolbox. Ugh. Son of a bitch. This is not the time for Dallas to be fucking jerking us around. A 5th and a 6th. Thank you. Christ. All right. Well, that'll leave us with 2 hours left to hopefully get more trade offers and actually be able to pull the trigger on one. So Anaheim is calling. Stephen Weiss for a 2nd and a 3rd. They still want it. We'll take it. I just missed out on at least 2 first-round picks, I feel like. Son of a bitch. Can I get Jason Blake? Can I get Jason Blake? For Andre, not Chris Barch. Andre Devereaux. Maybe not for Andre Devereaux. I'm going to need someone with a little bit more value. Just in case more deals come through, I want to be ready. I want to be ready. Devs, thank you for the 18 months on the primer. I do appreciate it. They don't want him. Yeah, John Madden's not going to be able to do enough for me there. Let's try to work out the Pakarainen deal. If I can get more picks from them, I'll be pretty happy. But I already took their picks. The first rounder next year. If I use Pakarainen and Donskoy here, I'd have to take back somebody else. Hendry. Let's add a little bit more because I desperately need this to go through. A 4th, a 7th this year, and a 6th. We got it. All right. We got Anaheim's first round pick next year. We get Jason Blake for the rest of this year to take up some cap space. And hopefully now in the final hour, we get a couple of good offers to really seal things for us. But man, we missed out on some picks. Hopefully those teams that we're calling didn't find other deals. LA and the New York Islanders both calling. Thomas Fleischmann for a first and Dwight King. That's a yes. Even if it's a late first, we got to get rid of Fleischmann to try and miss the playoffs. We're going to take that from LA. Thomas Fleischmann on his way to the Kings. The Islanders, thankfully, we're not calling about Fleischmann. They want Christopher Stieg for 2 second-rounders. It's for Stieg's last year on his deal. We'll take that as well. That was way more stressful than I thought it was going to be. I do still feel like we missed out on some draft picks, but we did a decent job of getting rid of some people, making this team worse. Our highest rated player right now is Wojciech Wolski. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with Peros, 13 with Barch. That's good. So, not as fantastic of a deadline as I was hoping, but still pretty good. Thomas Fleischmann, of course, is still going to be listed as our top scorer, which LOL. We have 31 wins. Hopefully, by trading away, we just beat Winnipeg. Hopefully, by trading away Weiss, Fleischmann, so on and so forth, we'd be bad enough to start losing, but that might not be the case. And we lose to Chicago 6-1. So, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Now, I know AJ sent along the updated jersey ranker. Oh, boy. Am I ready for some more hot takes? I might as well be, because this team's probably still going to make the goddamn playoffs, aren't they? Oh, God help us. God help us. Wojciech Wolski got hurt, so our top player's out. We're continuing to lose games. We might be able to tank this in time. I cannot believe how slow the sim time is. This is insane. Scotty Upshaw gets hurt. I think I could have made 2 seasons worth of progress in the other game. Let's call up JF Jacques. Jean-Francois Jacques. Goodness. All right, you know what? Screw it. What do we got? Best of the best, excellent, great, good, okay, not good, bad, awful. That'll be the standard bearer for the moment. That's a great jersey. It is. It's a great jersey. It's timeless. Edmonton for the moment's also going in great. Florida. It's not bad, but it's not good. The Kings. Putting good for the moment. It's simple. I'm just going off a base feeling. Off a base feeling for the moment. They need to add more blue to Nashville. You're okay. Add your bottom straight back. That's a great jersey. That's okay. A lot of people hate that one. That's a great jersey. We'll see. Philadelphia. If we're counting the new Philadelphia jerseys, not good. And it's because they don't have an outline on the number. Put an outline on the sleeve number. Jesus. Dude, there's going to be so many freaking jerseys on this list. Holy shit. What do you even do? That's too much. Too complicated. I give up. We'll claim Andrew Alberts because, hey, now I can have cap space. It's too much, damn it. It's too much to do. Too much to do at once. I hate it. I hate it. I want to go back and do it, but I hate it. Dude, we have 39 wins. We're going to make the playoffs, aren't we? We're going to make the playoffs, aren't we? Fuck. I'll keep chipping away at the jersey tier list. I will. All right, this will take a year. What else do we got here? Well, the Sims, and we see if we made the playoffs. Dude, we have 40. I'll come back to these. We have 40 wins. We're going to make the playoffs. This is insane. This is going to be the worst team. One of the worst teams in NHL history to ever make the postseason. Especially because we have 10 overtime losses. Like, whoever we run into, they are going to steamroll us. They're going to absolutely steamroll us. And I don't like it. At 90 points, I got the hunch. Yep, there it is. In our first season with the Panthers, we have made the playoffs and have earned the right to get absolutely stomped by the New York Rangers. I frickin' knew it. We were the 9th best team in the NHL with 92 points. Yeah, I knew this would be a league of the haves and the have-nots. Montreal was a have-not. Have-not, am I right? Taking a look at player stats. In the regular season, though, we might as well see what happened around the league, how our boys did. At forward, Wolski, 56 points. We traded away quite a few of our dudes, and yet we still made the frickin' playoffs. I hate it here. Defensively, good season for Brian Campbell, who will hopefully be able to trade some point in the near future. And then in goal, Jose Theodore and Scott Clemenson. We got great goaltending from a 78 and a 76 overall. That hurts. That hurts. Ooh, this goes faster than it did in previous years. Not a fair trade-off at the sim speed. Leading point getter with 90 points. Alexander Ovechkin. You had Taves up there, Getzlaf, Zetterberg, and Sidney Crosby as your top 5. Your top goal scorer, Alexander Ovechkin. Joffrey Lupul was up there, too. Top point getters for defensemen with 53, Drew Doughty. And Whitney on 49, Carlson on 47, Toby Enstrom, and Sergei Gonchar, who was tied with Keith Yandel. Goal-scoring king was Erik Karlsson. Andy Green up there, Keith Yandel. Goalies, the winningest, Jose Theodore. He did play 79 games, though. The save percentage king amongst starters was Marc-Andre Fleury. And in terms of rookies, Rhett Rakshani. I shudder to think that Rhett Rakshani is going to win the Calder. But it's him, Brendan Smith, Simone Dupre. Oh, my God. Maybe Braden Holtby or Richard Bachman, but that's not going to be too pretty. Speaking of things not being too pretty, as mentioned, we are going to get absolutely dunked on by the New York Rangers. That is a thing that is going to happen. Shout out to Sven Andrighetto in this upcoming draft class. We'll go for the assistant coach. Let's kind of get everything to a base level there. Well, let's see who wants to step out onto the ice and get absolutely mauled by the Rangers. That'll be Theodore and Clemenson. Habs legend Sven Andrighetto. There you go. Defensively on... Oh, good. Campbell's out. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I want to save Eric and Branson from this nightmare. On the right side, Kopechki, Bradley, Barrows, and Barch. Oh my God. Wolski, Whitney, Bergenheim, Upshaw, Stern. Oh my God. Well, we found all the left wings. All the frickin' players on our team, they're all left wings. Guess we're going to call up frickin' James Wright or Scott Timmins to play center. Both of them. So we have Wolski, Santorelli, Kopechki, Upshaw, Madden, Whitney, Bergenheim, Wright, Sturm, Blake, Timmins, and Bradley. This is the worst team to ever make the playoffs. The fact that we did not lose every single game in the back half of the season is utterly shocking. And honestly, it's very disappointing that we made the playoffs because, again, it's just going to be more harmful to not have a top pick this year. I guess we just could not get rid of players in time, and that did not help. So the New York Rangers with Callahan, Richards, and Gaborik, O'Sullivan, Stepan, and Yip. Oh my God, this team sucks. Pyatt, Brule, Brunstrom, Porter, Boyle, and Curtis Gogol. What the fuck? Defense, McDonough, Girardi, Stahl, Delzato, Wade Red, and Michael Sauer. Goalies, Henrik Lundqvist. They must be dealing with a lot of injuries. We're going to get crushed. I almost don't even feel like following along on a game-by-game basis because it feels kind of pointless, in all honesty. But we'll go ahead. It is game number 1 against the New York Rangers. Down 1-0 at the end of the first period. Brandon Yip. Tied 1-1. Scott Timmins, the call-up. I'm going to quick sim the third period. The Florida Panthers take game 1. Okay. All right. We just lost Nolan Yonkman to injury. Our AHL team just made the playoffs as well. Game number 2. First period, goalless. Second period, 1-0 Rangers. Pyatt. Third period, we're going to overtime. On the power play, Tomasz Kopechki. Oh my God. You already screwed me out of a good draft pick. You might as well just win the goddamn thing. Double overtime. The Florida Panthers have a 2-0 series lead. This is setting back the rebuild years. Rebuild? What rebuild? We have Jose Theodore in goal. As we head home for game 3, Ed Jovanovski has broken his nose. Christ alive. Game 3. First period. 1-0 Panthers, John Madden. Second period, still 1-0 Panthers. Third period, the Florida Panthers have a 3-0 series lead on the New York Rangers. And indeed, Hank wasn't in. He's not injured. They just went with a different goalie. Game 4. First period. 1-0 Panthers. Scott Timmins. Second period. 2-0 Panthers. Mike Santarelli. The Florida Panthers have swept the New York Rangers in round number 1. I did everything in my power to tank. And we're going to the second round. Led in scoring by Scott Timmins. Remember how we said we just witnessed the greatest goaltending performance of all time in NHL 12? Yeah, about that. About that. In the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
Got the motions for the follow, by the way. We will be taking on the New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils. God help me. I mean, we got to take James Wright out of the lineup and go with Timmins, right? We need Scott Timmins in the lineup. The GOAT. Oh my God. I got nothing. The slowest season sim of all time. I tried like hell to tank. We had issues at the deadline. And it leads to this. All right. What do the Devils look like? The 2012-13 season post-trade deadline. It is Kovalchuk, Zajac, and Clarkson, Henrik, Elias, Tedenby, Bernier, Josefson, Zharkov, Jorg, Anderson, and Mike Sislo. Defensively, Volchenkov and Fane, Green and Larson, Joey Leach, and a forward playing defense, Ryan Carter. In goal, Martin Brodeur. We have home ice. Game 1. First period, goalless. We outshot them 16-5. Second period, 2-0 Panthers. Scotty Upshaw and John Madden. Third period. The Florida Panthers are 5-0 in the postseason. Last goal was on Hedberg as well. 31 save shutout for Jose Theodore. We are still undefeated in the playoffs. Our AHL team has also advanced to the second round, which is good news for Eric and Branson and company. Game number 2. First period, goalless. Second period, 1-0 Panthers, John Madden. Third period, the Florida Panthers are 6-0 in the postseason and have a 2-0 series lead on the New Jersey Devils. Brodeur is not playing. Game 3 in New Jersey. First period, 1-1. Adam Henrique and John fucking Madden on Marty. Second period, 2-1 Panthers, Jason Blake. Third period, the Devils tie it, Vladimir Zharkov. We go to overtime. Double overtime. The Florida Panthers are 7-0. Game 4. First period, 1-0 Panthers, Dmitry Kulikov. Second period, 3-2 Devils, Henrique, Bernier, and Elias. Sturm gets one back. And the Florida Panthers are going to the Eastern Conference Final. We are 8-0. In one of the damnedest things I think I've ever seen. A complete act of defiance from the sorry souls that were stuck on this team post-deadline. Dmitry Kulikov is our leading scorer. Clemenson ended up with a win at one point. Theodore has a .84 goals against average with a .969 save percentage and 4 shutouts. We are going to the Eastern Conference Final in our first season. A season in which we tried to tank and have failed miserably in that goal. Who will it be in the conference final? That is the question. The answer, still yet to be known. It will be the New York Islanders and the Florida Panthers. One of these two teams will go and play for the Stanley Cup in 2013, with Detroit taking on St. Louis in the Western Conference Final. The New York Islanders. Matt Molson, John Tavares, and Christopher Stieg, who we traded there at the deadline. Brad Boyes, Franz Nielsen, and Michael Grabner. Colin McDonald, Josh Bailey, and Kyle Okposo. Michael Zigomanis, Marty Reisner, and Rhett Rakshani. Mark Streit and Lubomir Vishnevsky. Andy McDonald and Sean Morrison, Mark Eaton, and Milan Yurchina. In goal, Evgeny Nabokov or Rick DiPietro. But presumably it's Nabokov. Game number 1. First period, 1-0 Islanders, Christopher Stieg. Second period, 3-0 Islanders, both goals for Grabner. And the comeback falls just short. Kopetsky and Bradley with 7 seconds left. The Islanders hand us our first loss of the postseason, as Nabokov stops 36 of 38. John Tavares picks up an injury as we go to game number 2. First period, 1-1, Steve Stais and Philip Kuba. Second period, 2-2, Bradley and Okposo. Third period, we're going to overtime. And the Islanders take a 2-0 series lead as Grabner strikes again. Of all the times for us to finally turn back into a pumpkin, it's after memeing our way to the Final Four. Game 3, 1-1, Molson and Bradley, a family company. Second period, 2-1 Islanders, Franz Nielsen. Third period, the Islanders have a 3-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference Final. We showed up to the Final Four just to get clowned by the Islanders. Game 4. Goalless at the end of the first. Down 3-0 at the end of the second for Stieg, Molson, and Tavares. And the New York Islanders have swept the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Final. Just far enough to be funny, but not far enough to avoid completely fucking us in terms of screwing us out of a good draft pick. Literally the worst case scenario. I don't know if I can ever forgive this team for this performance. I don't know if I can. We had 3 defenders as our leading scorers and Matt fucking Bradley.
Emotional damage.
Theodore still had a 948, and it wasn't enough. A team that bad makes it that far to screw themselves out of a good pick, and then they get clowned. It'll be St. Louis and New York playing for the Stanley Cup. Oh my God. I just can't believe that happened. 8-0. And then we get absolutely destroyed. Let's find out who's going to win the Stanley Cup in our first season here on NHL 13. I don't know what to expect now for the rest of this. Hopefully a good draft over the next 2 years. Strong off season as we continue to try to tear things down, but I don't even know. The St. Louis Blues have won the Stanley Cup 6 years early. Brett Hull, drunk under the table right now. He's happy. And I might be the least happy man in the hockey world right now. What the hell just happened? The 2-8 seeds go the distance, Game 7. And the St. Louis Blues win the Stanley Cup. We already saw the Providence Bruins won the Calder. Good Lord. Art Ross Trophy goes to Alexander Ovechkin. The Hart to Sidney Crosby. The Norris to Drew Doughty. The Bing to Zetterberg. The Calder, Braden Holtby. Conn Smythe to David Backes. Vezina to Mika Kiprasov. As well as the Jennings. The Selke to Pavel Datsyuk. Ted Lindsay to Crosby. Rocket Richard to Ovi. What the hell just happened?